Here we're going to show you how to use Sociable to create a character. This could be used for your podcast or something you want to just add into a conversation or a bot you might want to talk to by yourself. Who knows? All right, so most of the main store bots are characters. So you got Misfortune, Razzle, etc. All right, so first off, before you get confused, if you want to go look at your previously created characters, you just go to My Bots. The store is where you find the public ones. And you can take any one of yours and make them public just by clicking on it, scrolling down here, setting mode to public. Now anybody can use it. And even private ones you can share. It works kind of like YouTube unlisted videos. So if you hit share, someone else can be able to use it. If you hit public, someone could search it and find it. All right, that's enough on that. It's a great one. So by default, when you hit the plus one, it defaults to the character template. The character template has a few basic things that you can use to control it. Most importantly is name, voice, and what do they look like. All right, the look is very critical here. So there's two options you can go with. 2D image, which is defaults to this, but we can do something different. Let's go add Mark Zuckerberg impersonator. Let's see what they get. Nailed it. All right. So if you do one of these avatars, when they're in the video call, they're going to get the waveform on top to indicate when they're talking. If you go with the 3D avatar, 3D avatars, they'll have mouth movement. All right. So you can go and use this view, change it to a man, make them obese, whatever. All the standard stuff. Now, if you use one of these guys, it defaults to a dark black background. If you want to change it, you can use again, you can create cool startup office background. Give them a backdrop. And just hitting the generate button here, you can also click on the upload button and pick a file. So the generate, it's going to use Flux to go and generate a simple image. So that's a great backdrop. So now you have a flushed out 3D avatar. All right. You can mix and match. For professional things, I tend to go with the 2D with the waveform. I feel it looks more professional. But if it's more of a consumer-oriented product, I think the 3D visual, it adds a lot more character to it. All right, defaults to your name, so let's change it. Mr. Bob. All right, voice, tons of voices. So pick that voice. Intro. This is when you first start a conversation with a bot. What is it going to say? So this is before you've gotten into any video call or anything like that. The instruction, this is where you put all the personality, right? So let's say you love technology and are obsessed talking about it. Now the different LLMs will respond to instructions in very different ways. So the instruction command and the model kind of go hand in hand. I would argue if for Anthropic, it's really hard to get it to role play well, but you can use it. Llama and Mistral, I think, are better when you're doing more funny stuff. OpenAI, a little bit more serious. Image instruction. This works for OpenAI and Llama. The other ones, it doesn't work. So during a video call, it will be capturing your image and it will send that into the LM prompt. So you can do cool things like give somebody a compliment or respond to their surroundings. So this is what the instruction to use when dealing with the image in a conversation. This, if you're very familiar with models, this is controlling the p-value or the top p. I feel like, again, consumer, serious. Consumer, serious. This one, if you're having a really hard time with it following an instruction and you don't mind repetitivity, then I can go with limited. The webcam makes the bot more expensive to run because now it has to send an image into the prompt. So this is more of a price decision, right? If you want to turn that feature off or not. All right, cool. So we have our bot. All right, after you're done, it puts you back into the edit page so you can decide what to do with it. Now, I will say, if you're going to use this in a moderated conversation with Moderator X or podcast or anything else that's trying to figure out other characters to pull into the conversation, description matters a lot. Like, I love to talk about Facebook, right? So that when different conversations come up, topics come up, it knows whether or not to pull this bot in, right? It has to have some understanding about what this bot is good at talking about. So the description is pretty critical for that. So think about that if you're doing any of those. These tags here Chat means that you can chat with it. Video means that in a video call it will show up. So if you want to do like that, this is the default for character-based bots. So now we got a bot. Let's talk. So you can see, did the intro message. All right. I love spoons. Boop, boop, boop. Cool. So now you got your standard character AI conversation. Good to go. All right. The interesting parts are when you embed these into the podcast or the moderator conversations. You can see there's tons of stuff you can do with it. Right. So let's do video call real quick. This is my bad because I'm recording while I'm recording. So this won't happen to you. This is just a record issue. So by default, when you talk to bots, most of the mic will get disabled. So you can, hey, what's going on? Right? You can see it will then engage with you. All right, we'll leave that. I have my thing to records all of my meetings. That setting, if you want to do that, whenever you open up a video, it's right here, record video. Start full screen is good if you're trying to have a more immersive experience. Let me just show you that real quick. That's equivalent to this. And when you're in this mode, you click on this guy whenever you need to chat with him or control any of the behavior, right? It tries to give you a max full screen view. And when you're in multi-mode, when you have multiple people in a conversation, 3 or more, then it goes to side-by-side grids instead of the picture-in-picture mode. Cool. Enjoy creating your own little characters.